welcome to another edition of your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show.
Question is, did she subscribe?
Right.
I know she's down on YouTube.
Representing from the Boondocks. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy Wednesday.
What up? She repping her Hey Sister Soldier look right now. Everybody give it up for Bunny. What's happening, Bunny?
What up? Happy hump day.
T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
I'm back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm back.
What is going on, party people? It is your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. I think that may be on a highlight reel tape. And we're glad that you are tuning in live along with the millions and millions of the platform sports talk show fans on once again your Wednesday Night Sports Delight.
Really?
Or
Really? Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with
There you go.
97 million. There you go.
all you hear is this.
It's always somebody who's doing something to give back and letting the next generation.
Say
Don't
straight.
have me tear up on here.
Come on now, don't have me tear up. You know I get emotional. But
People watching around the world, no pressure. And we already have our favorite fan, Ms. Williams, saying welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? Hi, Ms. Williams.
A guy who tried to give it his all and put on for the city, to be truthful. Because like I said, I'm St. Louis die hard.
The views of Smooth does not reflect the Platform Sports Talk Show or its sponsors.
What up, what up, what up? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smoooth, and we are back for another great couple hours of nothing but incredible sports talk discussions, talking about all the hot topics going on around, not just here in the Lou, but all around the sports scene around the world, man. And look forward to it. Got the Red Cup. Y'all know what that means. It's time to party, have a good time, get it in. Make sure y'all go ahead and like and share and show love to the platform sports talk show. Because as I always say, the more people are tuned in and the more that you leave comments and show love throughout the whole night, that means the better the show is going to be. You're going to hold things down regardless, but you want to make it even that more better. You know what I'm saying? That MO better. For everyone's tuned in and show love to the platform sports talk show. This show is going on strong for 6 years, y'all. 6 years, holding things down consistently every Wednesday night. And it does not stop because right now I got my peoples with me. She's chilling on her love seat, her relaxing chair, the whole nine. Holding things down from the ill side right now. She's a product of Lincoln University. Also, shouts out to her high school, Metro High School. Y'all know that little school that was like, right there around where, I'll be on some old club stuff, but I'll leave it alone right now. She might bring it up, but it was like round the cut, you know what I'm saying? Right off, off Banner right there. But she's the host of Ladies Night, and she's ready to bring her opinions and all that good stuff. Bunny, what's going on with you?
Of course, somebody wants to join me as well. What up?
There we go. Uh-oh.
Say happy hump day. Minus this, but say happy hump day. What up, Smooth? How you doing?
Yeah.
There we go. That hump day, baby. Yeah.
I'm at the introduction. You're talking about right down the street on the cut. Around the clubbing days, like really, right? But about really,
it was in the cut, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to think the name of that club that we used to go to on Wednesday nights. Ironically, not Club Kirby's. That's what it is, Club Kirby's. It was right there on Banner across from the rallies. You know what I'm talking about?
Kirby's. That was in that place?
Yep.
You got showing our
age. Every Wednesday night, ironically, that was the spot. For those who watch it, who know what I'm talking about, leave a comment. Let me know. Shouts out to Miss Dub saying what's up to me and to Bunny.
I Miss Dub.
There we go. Got our favorite fan watching right now. So, a lot of sports to talk about, Bunny, and we always say sports is like the ultimate reality show. It's always something going on. So look forward to discussing a lot of stuff tonight. But we can't do it without, bringing in another panelist from Ladies Night. She holding things down from the Boondocks. Everybody, leave them comments, show some love to not Joanne, who took the photos a few weeks ago, with her husband and everything. But we're talking about Joe Bo. What's going on, Joe?
What up? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. How you be?
I'm good. I didn't get to join our pre-show just because we had a friend over for Mia and whatnot. So I was trying to get her settled down after that, but good. It's Wednesday. I've never heard of that place you're talking about, but y'all got a couple of years on me, so that's probably why.
Yeah, but hey, I'm telling you, Joe Bo, back in the day, me, Bunny, and some more friends of ours, man, we was out here.
That's back when the streets were safe.
Right. When it was just pure fun, you had to worry about no gunshots, nothing like that. We just go out there, have a good time. Men dance with women and women dance with men, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, it was an actual party. It wasn't like, oh, I don't know you, so I can't dance with you. No, it was an actual straight up, nice, good.
That on my end.
No, I think it's on his end because I can hear you.
Smooth, we can't hear you, buddy.
You know, though, while we're waiting on Smooth, I never got into that phase of my life, you know, going out and doing that. You know, I mean, Brendan met very young and got married young, and you know, we go out and do our thing at, you know, some bars, this and that, but never to that point of clubbing, going out doing the crazy stuff. And now I'm a
clean
mother.
crazy though. It was clean crazy. It was plenty of times. I know on a weeknight not so much, but definitely weekends where it be out till some few times where the sun is about to come up or the sun's coming up. But again, young free. Like I said, the streets was a little safer, showing our age pre-social media, but it was good, clean fun though. Crazy but clean. I'm telling you.
And it's so
Sorry
funny
about
is
that.
because
my connection went off for a minute, so I'm back. So sorry about that.
Okay.
How it is with technology and everything, but I'm back. What were you saying, Bunny?
Oh, I'm done. Joe Bubba's chiming in.
Oh, well, I was just about to say it's funny as the job I was at before this one now is I would come in, oh, I'm so tired, and all the it's funny because I worked with a lot of women that were my friends' moms in middle school. So like I knew all of them, but they were all like at the time Joe Mo because my maiden name, and then Joe Bo. Eventually, they all called me that. But they were like, "Oh my gosh, I would just be, you know, if I was your age, I'd be coming into work, you know, after being out all night and keep it going." I'm like, "Y'all are crazy. I would never in my life. I go to bed at midnight, and I wake up exhausted right now. There's no way I'd be able to do that on a Wednesday night."
It was a struggle, and the other day that struggle was Tuesday night, $2 Tuesdays. Woo, chat.
Yeah. And I always told the story that I used to be the person people would get at, like, hey, what's going on Monday? What's going on Tuesday, Wednesday? I knew stuff going on every day of the week, including Saturday and Sundays. I knew the spots, you know what I'm saying? And I always told my wife, shouts out to you, Jamie, love you. I used to always tell her, I said, if you knew me back then, you would have proposed to me.
Get out of here.
Wait a minute now.
Just
Wait a
stop.
minute. Wait a
Oh,
minute.
Lord. Yeah.
Because, hey,
Big head.
ask Bunny, though. I used to be on the dance floor doing my thing.
He
And,
did.
you know, Jamie
Everybody, and when that people saw Fred come in, they was like, oh, yeah, he can, man. This guy was known in the St. Louis streets. Again, clean, good fun, though. They'd be like, oh, yeah, you pretty. Oh, yeah, you about to cut up on the floor. Oh, yeah. The music could change sometimes and everything. Hey, what's the other one of the spots I used to go to downtown? Remember across from Maggie O'Brien's? Used to be Have a Nice Day Cafe. Right. Then they changed it to Plush. Definitely went downhill. But we spent a lot too. I'm telling you. Yeah. The name changed, same buildings. Like, dude, we helped shut it down.
Yeah, we definitely
the landing.
Did, man.
That's another good spot. Remember the landing?
Yep. Definitely some fun time. Tequila Wild. What was the other spot called? Yeah, we did. Tequila Wild,
Lucky's, man. What was Lucky's? Another place. Bar St. Louis.
That's it. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, we had so much fun. Like I said, back when you didn't have to worry about all that. I mean, now it may have been every now and then fights, but it'll be more like you know, those who used to drink a lot down the landing, they act crazy. But you know what I'm saying? It was just pure fun and great entertainment. But we can't talk about entertainment without having this guy on. He's a former professional wrestler. He's about to be a lawyer, so you want to book him for all your future problems you may have in life. He may be able to hold you down here and set you all free. It's y'all boy, T-Bone Funk. What's going on, T-Bone?
Hey, everybody.
What up, T-Bone?
Y'all talking about other spots here. I mean, I can't tell you about St. Louis, but I can tell you some places in Kentucky, and I can tell you a lot of places in Florida. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say Orlando. What was y'all spot? I know y'all had plenty in Orlando too. What was some of the names and places down there?
Let's see. Depending on who you were, who you were with. I mean, there's places like Cowboys. Hey, Miss Dub. There was Cowboys. There was a place called Taboo, which became the Beecham, which that was my favorite place. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they shot the Daisy Dukes video back there a long time ago. Either Daisy Dukes.
Oh man, you were lucky.
Well, what else? Dollar Drink Night at Chillers on Wednesday nights. Chillers and Latitudes. There was a few other places, but the names kept changing so many times. You know what I mean? That was a common thing. Lexington, Kentucky. I mean, there was Gambinos, there was Avios, there was anything
Man, he knows.
Anything goes, huh?
Kentucky had Brick Alley with $2 Tuesdays as well. I guess that's a gimmick that caught on. And I remember briefly in college when I come here for like Christmas break and stuff. In the Loop, there was this little hidden gem called the 619. I believe it was 619.
Man,
609. 609. That used to be a little spot too. I didn't go there until
for
a happy hour. That's why I went happy hours on Friday sometimes. 609. Yeah.
I went there. Yeah, I remember that place. I'd go there. I actually saw my high school wrestling coach there one time. I was like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing?"
He had to relax too. He had a good time.
Right. Coaches got to have fun too.
Said, so you gonna leave the high school to go to the Army my senior year, leaving me with no, not my coach, and then you're gonna come back. You're gonna come back to go to the bar. You're gonna go to the bar.
To the bar. Right. Oh, T-Bone, when you saw the video shoot for Daisy Dukes, he was like, "Yeah."
Hey, look, that place was that look. It used to be, I guess, it looked like it used to be like an old theater or something like that, because you can see the marquee on the outside, but you go in and it looked like, how you would have originally had like ticket booths and stuff there in that little area, but the booths weren't there. Then you go in and it's like the big area where it's basically like a big auditorium type thing, and then there was even a stage. So yeah, I'm gonna look that up while we going. I'm gonna find out what video that was shot there.
So you know what, Bunny, you and I talked about our experiences. T-Bone talked about his. Jobo, what were some of the hot spots back in your younger years?
That's what I was telling Bunny whenever we lost you there for a bit. I grew up in Lime. The hot spots were whose parent let them buy alcohol in high school, and that's where we were at. And I can think of two houses that I was at all the time in Lime. So there you go. The Lime houses. They're on like Broadway and stuff.
Got you. Yeah, I have
big old house parties. That's about it.
I have a friend of mine. Shouts out to Miko. Miss Dub knows him as well, but he used to go to Melville, and I know that Lee May is out there in that area. So, shouts out to him and everything in that area as well. I wasn't really big on going out to the South County that much, or that area that much, but when I did, it was pretty cool. I ain't gonna hate, ain't no ill will. Just wasn't out there a whole lot. But
you can hate Lee May. It's not like it's not the best place in the world, But I had good times. It's weird going down there now. My grandma just went into a home or whatever, but she was like the last one that was living there. We all lived in Lee May, and whew, it's changed. We never, we don't really go down there much, but it's definitely changed.
And I know this is a sports talk show, but we talk about having a good time and people come together, and it sucks that we're living in a world, especially here in St. Louis, where having a good time can turn violent. For those who don't know, this past Sunday there was a mass shooting that happened at a party down on Washington Avenue at an office building that actually should not have been open for those to come in, and one life was lost, and I believe 9 other kids were injured due to shooting. And as Bunny and I brought up, back then, you go out, you didn't have to worry about this and worry about that. You just want to have a good time, meet new people, have straight up fun, enjoy the vibe. And nowadays, it's like no matter if it's a sporting event or it's a club event, whatever it is, it's something that's always going on. And I hope that there's something that can be changed. And it also has to, first off, at home, in regards to the upbringing and knowing what's right and what's wrong. But also, the the cops and the mayor and everyone else who's involved with what's going on with the nightlife scene in St. Louis, in the city, county, wherever it is. We just hope that eventually people can go back to having fun without having to worry about losing their life or their loved ones. So prayers up to those who's been involved in so many tragic things going on over the last, just over time, man. It's just been crazy. Just want to go back and have a good time and be able to relax and enjoy themselves. For instance, one of the big shows that comes here to St. Louis every year decided to not even do a show this year at the America Center because they are afraid of violence in St. Louis. And this could be the start, which is going to be very bad. This could be the start of less shows, less conventions coming to St. Louis, which means less money because people are scared for people they want to bring in from other cities and states because of the violence going on in St. Louis. So hopefully, and do prayer as well that things could be much better here in the Lou, because it shouldn't matter where you at. You should be able to have a good time. Bottom line, whether it's in St. Charles and Chesterfield or downtown St. Louis or whatever, people should be able to go out and people shouldn't have to worry about, will I be able to come home if I'm having a good time? Bottom line. But once again, this is your Wednesday night sports delight. T-Bone, you haven't did it in a long time, but let everybody know how they can, reach out to us, connect with us, and show us love.
Well, for those of you who are looking on delay, you can find us here on YouTube, and we want to make sure that we continue to grow that subscriber count. We are nearing a milestone goal, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what the exact number is, but I know we're getting close. Don't think that your subscription doesn't help, because it really does. We need y'all to get to that magic number. So please, right now, don't wait. Just go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and when you hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that
bell.
That's right. That way, when we go live, you will be notified. And we got plenty of options for you, too. You can catch us here on Facebook, on the Platform Sports Talk Show, on Twitter at 314 Sports Talk. And you can check us on Instagram at Platform Sports Talk. And hey, we're on Roku. We are in high definition. You can see all of us up close and personal. And, hey, don't forget Hot 365 Radio, because it's always hot out there. And you can catch us on the Twitch platform as well, Hot 365 Radio, and that's twitch.tv/Hot365 Radio. You can catch all of our shows that we have, and that includes on the first Wednesday of the month, Ladies' Night. You can catch all the ladies out there, 2 of which are here with us tonight. Get all their opinions and see what all they have to say the first Wednesday of the month. And hey, don't forget, if we got that on the first Wednesday, then the last Wednesday is the Man Cave, which features the panel of fellas, one of which myself is here tonight. So we're all here. It always gets rowdy every last Wednesday of the month. Lots of opinions, lots of roasting sessions going on, it seems. You know what I mean? Especially if you can check the group chat sometimes. But hey, we're here for you every single Wednesday, just about, minus a vacation here or there. But we're here for you. Check us out.
There it is. And comment from Miss Dub. Maybe that will finally move the local officials to do something about it, especially the proliferation of guns. Yes. We keep hearing so much about this, so much about that, but what are they going to do about gun control and access to guns? Now, I know there's a lot of instances in which, people are stealing guns, buying guns from the low, so they're not taking the legal route to get the guns. But once again, we got to stop hurting ourselves, man, and get back to having fun and enjoying life. So we hope that we can all get back to that. But with that being said, T-Bone, Father's Day was this past weekend. How was your Father's Day?
It was good and interesting. While I'm looking here, it's interesting to note the club that I mentioned, Taboo or Beecham, it has its own Wikipedia page. Do with that what you will. But
wow.
But Father's Day was good. It was a good weekend overall. It started off Saturday with my son's having his first T-ball day, so good father moment right there. And then picked up on Wednesday, Sunday, having a nice relaxing day, and just, enjoying some barbecue, and that's all I wanted. Nothing. Just give me time, space. Let me lay down.
Now, see, for me, got to say, first off, why have to rain all hard on Father's Day? Y'all do that for Mother's Day.
Right.
You know what, though, Smooth? I will say my first Mother's Day rained all day, and then Brennan's first Father's Day, we were sitting on a beach. So it was his turn.
But it didn't start raining hard until like the afternoon. So you still had the morning. It was pretty good. It was just the afternoon that kind of ran in your parade, no pun intended.
To give us, 2 hours to have fun. Everything else is like, woo. But no, outside of that, man, my Father's Day was incredible. Thanks to everyone who showed me love, to my wife, to baby girl, to my family. Appreciate y'all showing me love, friends, and
Dude, I'm missing. Oh, it happened again.
Yeah, looks like we lost him again. Bunny, did you do anything special for your hubby?
Yeah, well, Father's Day weekend is also our family reunion. It was a tradition started by my grandpa and his siblings. So we had that over the weekend, but specifically on Sunday, we wrapped up the Father's Day. We wrapped up the family reunion. Excuse me, ma'am. We wrapped up the family reunion, and then what did I do? We took him to breakfast / brunch at help me out here. First Watch. He requested it. Had some good food, and because we got there later early in the afternoon, the rush was gone, so we didn't have to wait. Then we went to main event for a few hours. Sasha and Chris did more of the playing of the games and stuff. I was just a bystander on the sidelines. So now I was too. We were on the sideline looking at them.
Where's that at here? It's in Chesterfield.
Main event is right in Chesterfield by the old outlet mall, right by the factory, or let me say closer to the Top Golf out in Chesterfield.
I think, I know what you're talking about now.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that was even over there. But I was kind of looking like, what's the difference between this and Dave and Buster's? It's just more games. They have more VR games, and they have a bowling alley in there too compared to Dave and Buster's. But it was pretty cool. He enjoyed himself.
Orlando too.
Yeah, and then we just came home and chilled out the rest of the day. So for whatever Smoooth was talking about, why they had to rain, we were inside with main event, so the rain didn't bother us. But I'm like, I remember, I think my first Mother's Day, it was good weather, but it was still cool. So good weather meaning sunny, bright. Bless you. But it was cool outside, like high 60s. So he'd be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, we did I don't know what we did Friday, but Saturday we brought Mia to go see Bluey at the Fox. So that was awesome. And then Sunday on actual Father's Day, just went to mass, and he wanted to clean out the garage. So me and him, we cleaned out the garage, got it looking nice in there, and I kept telling him not to do the dishes or anything. And I walk away for a minute, and he's doing the dishes. So he's he doesn't like special treatment, so that's that. But I try to make it as easy as possible on him.
Oh, that was nice of you. Cause let me say, hey, don't do the dishes. It would have been like he's gonna do dishes. He won't. But let's take a step further. I was bugging up and I loved it. Sanaa and Sasha were in a moment. Daddy moves at main event. They wanted his attention, play the game. Daddy kept doing it over and over and over. I was laughing and loving. I said, ooh, taste of my medicine. When I hear mommy all the time, mommy get all love. I said, keep it going, girls, keep it doing. This was natural though. We weren't doing it on purpose. That was just coincidentally at the same time. Kept saying, daddy. Oh, I said, this is payback. I love it.
Yeah. I was able to avoid the daddy calls on Sunday. Although I did wake up Sunday morning wondering, why is my back hurting? And then I looked over and I was like, oh, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
You get those kidney shots and the back shots when they get in the bed? Because I know I do.
Get out of here. Right?
Even when I take her back into her own room, she finds her way back into the bed. I'm like, come on. Really?
Yeah, Mia just now has it's not a full-on toddler bed, but we got like a little netting mesh thing, and she can get out if she wants. Nap time she will. Nighttime, she won't. She's scared. We gotta go, check the closet, check underneath the bed, all that stuff, because she's been watching Monsters Inc. a lot lately though, so that's probably why, honestly.
That's it right there.
But
Don't play the Monsters Inc. Let me note that down.
yeah, but
we don't watch it. And I probably would scare me, and I'm a whole adult.
yeah, but no. So but yeah, we usually throw her in the bed with us pretty early because she just cries, and I'm not losing my sleep because she's gonna cry all night. So we just throw her in bed. But let's go ahead and let's start. You got my attention, T-Bone. Let's start with you.
Well, let's see. Not a lot of different sports I can talk about, so I'll go to the default for me. Saturday had the debut of AEW Collision, and I don't really talk about wrestling too much here, but I'm not a huge fan of the overall AEW product over the past so many years, but I decided to give Collision a shot because it was supposed to be something different, and they surprised me. And that's hard to do when it comes to wrestling. I was surprised in a good way, and I liked the program overall. It looked good. It looked professional. They acted professional. It looked like something that I would enjoy watching on my Saturday nights or DVR to watch at a later time because Saturday nights,
What channel or streaming service is this on?
It is on TNT. TNT, 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern.
On Saturdays?
Yeah. I mean, people keep saying that Saturday nights are a bad night for television. I disagree. It's really not.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying because now that, I have a child and I don't want to go out and do stuff. We just kind of do stuff at home or with other kids. I'm saying more so like there might be now a City SC game on Saturday night, or there might be a Cardinals game. Like it would have to be something I'd really, really, really want to,
Right.
change my routine for.
Right, and that's completely valid. But then if you think about it, if it's something if it's one of those shows where you kind of like, well, I'm interested in it, but I got something else. I mean, everybody's got a DVR these days. So by the time Sunday rolls around, like, oh, Sunday afternoon, especially not during football season, oh, let me catch up on this. And especially with you can fast forward to the commercials at that point, even better.
But I will say, if you have a Twitter or you have a lot of friends on Facebook that chit chat about sports and stuff, Bunny, you'll get a Twitter eventually. I'm just saying you're gonna see what happened. Like have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
I have seen.
I've only seen the preview, but I never watched it.
It is on my list of shows that I would like to watch, though.
It's amazing. But there's an episode where they usually every year get together for the Super Bowl and watch it, eat hot wings, all that good stuff. But one year, someone at the bar they're hanging out passed away, and the bartender's like, "If you don't go, you're dead to me." And so they're like, and it was on the Super Bowl night, which is the weirdest of weird. A funeral on a Sunday night on Super Bowl Sunday. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so they try their hardest to like no one pay attention to what's going on. They live in New York City. The main guy, he has like these headphones and glasses with itty bitty holes on it so he can go get his hot wings, and it's a fail. Like that's what I'm saying. That's what Twitter is when it comes to these types of things. Like it's if you're a fan of something and you check out your Twitter for a second, you're gonna know what happened.
Oh, I'm letting everybody know that's on Hot 365 Radio. You may not hear anything for a few minutes. We're having technical difficulties behind the scenes, but hang in there. We're hanging in there. You're gonna hang in there. We'll get this figured out. But thank you everyone else. Thank you everyone else who's tuning in via YouTube, Facebook. We're still here, and let me let you all know what has my attention. Of course, we're going to talk about free agency if we mentioned it last week, but the Chris Paul trade has my attention. So the Washington Wizards said, hey, we got somebody that's worth really, really, really valuable to us, but we're ready to let him go if he says he's okay with it because he's the last player with a no trade clause, which is Bradley Beal, St. Louis's own. Woo-hoo. He got traded to the Phoenix Suns. In exchange, they got Chris Paul and some second round draft picks and a couple other miscellaneous people. So that has my attention because I knew they were going to try to get rid of CP3, but not via trade. I thought maybe they'll give him 1 more year to try it out, and then now I'm looking at how the Suns is constructed with Vogel as coach, CP3 gone, so they have Booker, the All-Star, they have KD, the All-Star still, and they have Aiden. So, and now they got Bradley Beal. I still don't know how they're gonna work out, but we shall see. The verdict's still out, but that has my attention. So T-Bone, you said there's nothing too much going on. You have wrestling. You know, summertime is just pretty much baseball. But what Jobo said a few minutes ago, instead of Saturday night, you got City St. Louis SC Club playing right now on a Wednesday night just for you.
We're here. I mean, you know.
I know, but I'm just saying Saturday night's not always soccer. They give you on a Wednesday or Thursday night sometime just for you, Jobo.
Randomly, it throws me off when they do that. Welcome back, Smooth.
Yeah, welcome back, buddy.
Back. I don't know what was going on with the internet over here on my camera, but I'm back. I apologize for me not being. Everybody like, what's going on with Smooth? I'm here. It's all good. I'm back. Hopefully, no other connection issues going on, but we back. But yeah. So I heard your story, T-Bone, in regards to AEW. The reason why I asked real quick about Father's Day. Once again, my Father's Day was incredible. Shout out to my family who showed me love, friends and all that. Appreciate the love, baby girl, everyone. It was incredible. But someone didn't have such a great Father's Day, and I thought, and that's the father of one Charlie Culberson from the Atlanta Braves. So the plan was for his father on Father's Day to throw the pitch, you know, before they had the actual game, the first pitch. And so everything was going well until he found out that his son Charlie got DFA'd 4 hours prior to the game.
Woof.
4 hours prior to the game, which means that his father could no longer throw the first pitch. And so at the very last minute, they had to ask the rookie of the year, what's his name? Michael
Harris.
Michael Harris, and his father instead had a pitch. But can you imagine as a father that you're planning to throw the first pitch for your son, and then 4 hours before the game, your son got DFA'd by the Braves? Like, how? I know it's a song, T-Bone, like Ludacris says, but how low can you go?
And for all our listeners out there, DFA, designated for assignment in the baseball terms.
You know what's crazy to me about this is the Braves are in a good spot. They're comfortable. You had to do this on Father's Day, like right then and there. You couldn't just wait till Monday. That's
they could have waited after the game, for real.
Well, yeah. That's messed up. And I feel like I've heard that he's from Atlanta, so, or at least a Georgia boy. So, yeah.
And this is a cruel business sometimes, but hey, it's kind of messed up. But I bet you he's still probably getting paid much more than a lot of people out there who had a great Father's Day. So I think he probably like, yeah, it's messed up, but I'll take this paycheck over the DFA first pitch being missed. Hey, oh my gosh.
Hey, Jobo, can you let Miss Dub know what designated for assignment mean?
Yeah, so it's weird. It's pretty much like, because times you get sent down to AAA, and that's probably what happened. But like, if there's times where you're designated for assignment, and if no one claims you, like any other team can claim you, then you're just a floater. You're just a free agent for anyone to pick up.
Just in baseball purgatory.
Yeah. So I mean, was he released? Or was he sent down to AAA? You know, there's so many different weird terms in baseball for the same thing. Like Taylor Motter, we all remember Taylor Motter. You know, like he was DFA, no one wanted him. Cardinals signed him to a contract and threw him in AAA. Like, it's weird. I don't understand it half the time, but it's just one of the many ways to not be on the big league roster and still be a part of the team.
Yeah, and for what I'm saying, I mean, like, he's totally out of a job.
So he's just a free agent then.
Right. Yeah. So, like I said, and well, like you brought up earlier, just the fact that on Father's Day that your father was planning on throwing the first pitch, and yes, Miss Dub, that's pretty low. Like on Father's Day, really? Like you could have went on and kept him, and
Whose
and
fault is
then
that? The
did
GM. The GM could have waited 4 hours.
I don't think they particularly cared.
right.
Yeah, I mean
It-
it's
it's
probably just the
business.
GM, the owner, whatever, but yeah, they don't care at all.
There have been like some salary issues if he would have been on there for past a certain time or something like that, maybe.
Well, I don't know. Braves got all these really, really good contracts for all stars, so I don't think it's that. What's funny is I do remember though when Colton Wong, like 2013, not 13, probably like 14 or 15, he was sent down to AAA because he was slumping. But then he had like a Hawaiian shirt day for him, and they brought him
Right.
back up for that. But then he started raking after that, so like I don't know, he just needed a Hawaiian shirt, I guess. But I still remember that. It's funny. Like I feel like Jordan Walker had some day coming up whenever he was sent down. Or no, it was boy band night, and Jordan Walker was on
Yeah.
the shirt,
Sure
and then they
did.
sent him down. But I don't know. Yeah, that's the business, I guess. Sucks.
That's the business. All right. So I know I heard your what has your attention, Bunny. What about yourself?
Who?
He didn't hear you got my attention.
Oh, you said you did hear mine. I'm sorry. I thought you said you did hear it.
No, I did.
Oh, mine was nothing but basketball. NBA. Little trade the Wizards and the Suns partook in. Is that the word? What's the word? Well, whatever, ma'am. Oh, and yeah, they did another one, Porzingis. Yeah, that happened today. I forgot about that one too. Initially, I was talking about the CP3 bill trade, but I forgot Porzingis just got shipped off today too.
Mommy.
So, sound like they're doing a fire sale.
Mommy.
Yes.
Fire.
That's
Hey,
that
mommy,
money.
talk to me.
Right. Not bad, y'all. But this is
No,
what
my-
happened on Sunday, but it was Chris's turn. They kept doing daddy like that. I was laughing and loving it. Anyway, the Wizards
But
are
yeah.
doing a fire sale, sounds like. So everything must go.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah,
a good contract must go. So that had my attention. I'm just not sure if the Suns are gonna work out because you always look at what you have on paper. Aiden, Bill, Booker, and Vogel as their coach, but will that equate to winning? Remember, I told you all how it worked out with the Nuggets. They had 3-4 years together. That chemistry makes a difference besides injuries. Look after the Nets. Harden, KD, and what's his name? Couldn't get it together. Kyrie. So I know on paper, everybody look. I'm like, look, chemistry go along. These are veterans, and that's veterans still can't pull their shit together in the clutch. So this looks good now, but we'll see. And again, remember I told y'all, what about the whole trying to take down the Nuggets? How the Suns is constructed right now with this 3 year, I still don't see them taking down the Nuggets. Lakers questionable as well, so that has my attention.
And Bunny, I have to agree with you in regards to this. Like you said, on paper, having Bradley Beal, Booker, KD on your squad is like, okay, this can be a force. But I look at the defense of this team. I look at the lack of depth they have on this team, and unless they make some more moves behind the scenes, they may be good. Of course, they'll be good enough to get in the playoffs. But in regards to the playoffs, how deep can it really go? And especially with the uncertainty of Kevin Durant and how he's always, ends up being injured or whatever.
But let's just say if the Suns had low management for KD for 2/3 of the season, he comes All-Star break. That's February. He comes start playing. No issues and straight to the playoffs, smooth sailing. You have vintage KD. You're still probably not going to equate a playoff good run against the Nuggets with him, vintage KD, plus Booker, plus Bill. You got all that offense. You just mentioned depth. You also got to mention what I told everyone before. We know Joker's going to do what he does. But the other unsung hero of the Nuggets is Aaron Gordon. Who does the Sun have to match up with Aaron Gordon? We know Aiden has already reached his plateau. You're not going to get more than what you get out of him now. So Man, what you trying to flex? What are you showing off here?
She's showing
I'm
out.
sorry, yeah, that's coming. Y'all go. I'm like, what is she doing? Anyway, yeah. So I don't think that's still going to equate to taking down the Nuggets. And Vogel as a coach is good, but you still got to do the front court move if the Suns want to go far. So that's my attention. You got rid of CP3 to get Bill. It's not an even trade per se, but you still have the same problems. Your front court is still exposed. That's all.
Now, one move that I will say I do like in regards to that trade, because they don't really have a point guard in their starting lineup now. But a guy that can be is St. Louis Billiken's own Jordan Goodwin. He was involved in that trade, and he's a point guard. So he can actually get that point guard spot at Phoenix, and he's a tough guard. He plays defense. He's one of those snot-nosed, blue-collar type guys.
He's hungry. He's hungry.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So
Bill
that
helped him along the way. So I know with him having Bill still by him, that will help him develop his game more and still have that drive. So that's one thing I give credit to Bill. I don't know if people know this because him being from St. Louis and Goodwin being from St. Louis. And I don't know if he's my relative or not, but y'all peep my Goodwin reunion t-shirt. So I'm a claim him as my folk, okay? But I would say that
we claiming it.
It's not that many good ones around the country. So we traced our lineage up at the reunion over the weekend. We did dive deep into it, but I just think that Goodwin is a good fit. Like you said, if you can hold that number one spot down for your point guard, and if not, even off the bench, he's hungry. And he got into the league by way of the G League, and like I said, Bill looked out for him, and he's proven himself. So I'm really happy. So I hope they have continued success in Phoenix. And
then, as you brought up before, the Wizards are having a fire sale. Once they got rid of Bill, now they made another move today. It hasn't been official yet, but Kristaps Porzingis will be eventually going to the Boston Celtics in a 3-team trade. The Celtics, of course, are getting Kristaps Porzingis. Malcolm Brogdon is going to the Clippers, and Marcus Morris plus draft compensation to the Wizards. So Boston's making moves, trying to beef up their roster. If Porzingis is healthy throughout the season, Boston should definitely be a threat in the Eastern Conference. I like the move. Once again, once everything is official, I do like the move for Boston. That should definitely help with Tatum and if Jaylen Brown's still on the team. So I like the move, and a whole lot's going on in NBA. We'll discuss that in a moment regards to free agency and, of course, the NBA draft. I definitely like what's going on right now in regards to the NBA making a lot of noise right now. Jobo, what about yourself?
I'm gonna stick with baseball, and there's a team that's got my attention, but I think it could change by the All-Star break. But the Cincinnati Reds, they've won 10 in a row now, or 11 in a row today, I think. They've got young talent on the team. Joey Votto just came back, and stadium's still not packed for a first place team that hasn't won anything in a decade, but you think it would be, but they got a lot of young good talent. Like they got almost too much, like Jonathan India.
Jobo, was that the Pete Rose days before we was all born? I'm just saying.
No, it was like 4 years ago when they went to the play. No, 3 years ago when they went to the playoffs.
Not counting the COVID year. Stop. Same thing. Stop. Okay, that's the year.
Stop the madness.
That's just like
stop the madness.
People want to talk about how 2017's got an asterisk. Well, the Dodgers 2020's got an asterisk for a 60 game season Mickey Mouse trophy. So,
hey, T-Bone, she was like, Nate Dogg, hold up.
I'm just saying that's weak to me, but yeah, I mean, and also they didn't even score a single run in that playoff run either, so that's that. But yeah, they're fun to watch. They got one of the top prospects, Ellie De La Cruz, playing there. Jonathan India, he's playing really good right now, but he's pretty much fighting for his spot on the team because there was rumors about him weeks ago being traded. Like I said, Joey Votto's back. They got Spencer Steer. They got some decent pitching. So, I mean, no one saw it coming, honestly. And then they got another guy coming up, too. He's not here yet, but his last name is hyphenated, but I can never say the name. Kind of like Edwin and Carcione, but that last name. They got a rookie, there too. So I mean, if they're 500 or better and still in first place by the deadline, then they'll be getting one of these pitchers out there.
And don't forget, the manager is David Bell. He and his family, his bloodline, T-Bone. They're big in regards to baseball. David Bell used to play with the Cardinals, so he knows the Cardinal system, during his time. And he finally has a roster that he can really, do his thing with. He's been patient, and that's what I like about what the Reds are doing, is that even though they've had losing seasons over the last, couple of years, they didn't just go ahead and say after 2 years, you're gone. You're gone. You know what I'm saying? And now he's reaping the benefits of patience that I feel, even in all sports, NBA, NFL, Bunny, you can probably relate or attest to it, how so many organizations are firing coaches after 1 or 2 seasons, and not sticking with it longer. But Cincinnati Reds have treated David Bell right, because he's been around for a couple of years now, and they could have easily let him go, after the first 2 seasons or 3 seasons or whatever it was.
I want to say there's 2 differences though. The Reds, when David Bell went there, they're trash. They were trash. Them and the Pirates were the bottom of the barrel. Same thing with Brandon Hyde, the Orioles manager. He won a World Series with the Cubs, moved on over to Baltimore, miserable over there. But you keep getting first round draft picks. Davey Martinez went over to the Nats, not a good team. He won that World Series a couple years later, and now he sucks again. But like, that's just there's 2 differences. Like, there's the Yankees and the Cardinals and the Dodgers, and then there's the Reds, the O's, and the Pirates, who they all tanked for years and years and years. It's 2 completely different things, honestly. But also, right. Going into this year, because I feel like we were getting into the Ali aspect in the Cardinals, is like, no one thought he should have been fired. Even when they're playing bad, I'm not even gonna say they're playing good now, because 4 games is not gonna make or break your season with how bad they played all year. But like, they're the St. Louis. Did you guys see that? They're the St. Louis Cardinals, and they have a roster to compete. But I wasn't gonna say fire him right off the bat, because you can't have 3 different managers in 5 years. That's just not. It's not a good look. This isn't hockey.
You sure can do that. It may not be right, but
yeah, you can, and you would need your Pobo to come out and say I was wrong, and he's not going to do that. So that's why it's never going to happen regardless. They could be a last place team like they are, but everything be a complete failure, look awful, Ali making terrible moves. He's still not going to do it, because he's the one that groomed him to be the manager of this team for years to come.
I just need Smoooth to cue up my Chris Breezy sound. Sound like I said last week. These ain't loyal. When I say they ain't loyal, they are not loyal. Ask my Schilt, they ain't loyal. Whoa, I tell you.
I'm just saying, though, Mo didn't want Mike Schilt to be the manager. It was the fans pretty much calling for Matheny's head. They were bad. They were like 500.
No, that was internal, because Yachty gave the last green light they needed. When Yachty said, that press release went out the next day. Yachty had a lot to do with it. And I would too, because he's the veteran in the nucleus of your clubhouse. So when Yachty spoke out, and Yachty a catcher, Matheny was a catcher, if he could speak up about his counterpart, come on now. That was more the players than the fans giving all that pushback.
No, I think it was a mixture. Obviously, Yachty did his thing, and Yachty's had more of an important role in the team than Matheny. The fans, we got swept going into the All-Star break by the last place Reds at the time when that happened. I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was rainy outside. I was about to go to bed and saw that tweet. I think it was from Jen Langosh at the time. But it was just bad. I wouldn't say Yachty's the one that pulled the trigger. And we thought it was bad.
Look at that. That's like hindsight of foresight. Ain't that crazy? We thought that was just the worst. Like, oh no, get rid of him. Off with his head. The Cardinals suck. That's the worst they've ever been. Fast forward 4+ years. Worse than we were when we had Matheny.
I I would like to point out that even though I wasn't official on the show, during my guest spots back in the day, I used to say, "Hey, careful what you wish for." I remember.
Roll those tapes back so I can make sure.
You were there.
And I'm gonna say one more thing in the regards to all this is, as a Reds fan, Orioles fan, Pirates fan, you know what your general manager, your organization's doing. You're tanking. The Cubs and the Astros did it. They purposely tanked so they can get high draft picks. If I knew that's what the Cardinals were doing, then I would watch these games, be happy, we're losing, whatever. But it's the fact that they sell it to you. You got good names on the roster, and you have Mo every time he shows up on the camera say, "Be patient." There's a clip going all over Twitter right now of "Be patient, be patient, be patient" from Mo so many times, and we're losing. Like, there's two different things with that too. If we were purposely doing it, then that's one thing, but we're not purposely doing it.
I just want to see, and I hope this happens because they're winning. They have 11 game winning streak right now, Cincinnati Reds. I really want to see the so-called Great American Ballpark be filled up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see all these red seats. I want to see these seats filled up and support this team that's finally, winning and at a good point. So I hope Cincinnati fans show up and show out.
But you know what? We're outsiders because maybe they had problem with the ownership for years and giving a taste of their own medicine. I don't know.
I mean, last year they did, but this year you got a completely brand new roster this year of people that you watch come through the system, and you're excited to see that. Like, the place wasn't packed when Ellie De La Cruz came up, but it was packed for Cincinnati, but they got a rough schedule coming up. They got the Braves, they got Baltimore, Padres, and the Brewers before the All-Star game. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But like I said, by the All-Star game, they're still up in first place, which honestly they could be because the Pirates have lost 9 in a row now. So they're back to where they're supposed to be.
Back to reality.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. But I don't know. We'll see how they're doing.
Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, come the All-Star break. But the NL Central, the AL Central, honestly, it's anyone's to take, with even being 8 or 9 games out now.
And lastly, for me, in regards to the Reds, I went to the game where the Cardinals beat the Reds. That was like the only game they won during their homestand. And just looking at that Reds team, you can tell, and I mean, like I said, I'm seeing them in person, there was a different energy and vibe in regards to that Reds team, especially with Ella De La Cruz on the team. Dude was a stud. But just the whole energy, the fun they were having, and once again, David Bell being able to implement his coaching and him teaching the guys how to play baseball. I'm very impressed with how they're looking right now. They're definitely going to be buyers in regards to the trade deadline, which means that Cardinals be prepared, because if the Reds make moves and you're within 6, games of the top spot in the Central, you have to be aggressive. You can't just make let's sign an 85-year-old veteran to fill the roster. No, you're going to have to be aggressive and try to win this division still, because it's not guaranteed right now, especially if the Reds keep playing baseball.
There's no more Wade LeBlancs, John Lesters.
Right. No.
Oh my gosh, J.A. Haps. There's no more of those out there. So
no.
They're gonna have to make some big boy moves if we're at that point. Got
to. So, in regards to what is on my mind, in regards to should I say what has my attention? Jobo, you may be a little bit too young for this, but do you remember slam ball?
Was that basketball?
Yeah.
I know it from One Tree Hill.
I know it from King.
Nathan Scott gets his comeback going with slam ball, baby. And that's 23.
Well, I'm going to show a little video, just so you kind of get a little taste of what slam ball is real quick.
light hits the screens. Look out, Memphis Robinson into the game, and he makes his presence.
So as you see, that is slam ball. There's an actual court, but on each side where the hoop is, you're gonna have trampolines, like 4 different trampolines. It's a physical sport. You're gonna have your elbow guards, your shin pads, everything on, and it's coming back next month, and it will be on ESPN. It's been 20 years. It has been 20 years since slam ball has been on the air, and I used to enjoy the show. And I look forward to it. I hope that it's a great comeback, unlike American Gladiators.
Hey!
Hey, I was a fan of American Gladiators. Now, I've never seen slam ball ever, but Gladiators, yeah, that was me.
Hey,
USA Network had my attention. Okay.
I love American Gladiators, and I saw the 30 for 30 T-Bone. It was an incredible documentary.
I missed it. They had one for them. Oh,
Shouts out to Dan, the creator of the American Gladiators.
Right, Dan, exactly. Dan, there you go.
that was our trainer at the school. So
really,
one who used to do our the physical training, like getting us ready before we got into the ring and stuff like that. Dan was the guy.
Okay, yeah. That's what's up. But yeah, so check it out, Bunny. On ESPN 30 for 30. It's a 2-part thing. Check it out. It's deep. It really is. And it's certain parts where it's sad because a lot of people that you saw when you were younger, they were big and cut and in shape and whatever. And now some guys are paralyzed in certain areas and just look. Oh yeah, it's there. Check it out. I'm saying it's a very good documentary. It's a nice big story about it, man, and it's deep. But check it out when you get a chance. But once again, slam ball is back. It'll be on ESPN starting next month. Look forward to it. It should be fun. There's something else to check out and everything, and hopefully they have success as well.
Question. You talking about next month? The success, bring that back. What about the basketball AARP club, also called the Big Three?
Yes, that's back.
On us now.
Yep, that's back.
Okay.
They still holding things down. Ice Cube saying that they doing big and better things. So, what I'm seeing from his posts and others, it should be an incredible year, and back and better than ever. So yeah, Big Three is still there, hold things down. But yeah, once again, this is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. Now it's time to get into our other topics. We balling, going back to some basketball tomorrow night. The NBA draft is coming up, and of course, everyone's talking about the 7'5" phenom from France, Victor Wembanyama. And if you didn't see on Twitter, I should have had the picture saved up. Matter of fact, I might get it real quick. But he threw out the first pitch the other day. And Joe, I'm not sure if you saw it on Twitter or whatnot. But the baseball looked like a ping pong ball.
I was gonna say that does he make Randy Johnson look like a midget? And Randy Johnson was one of the tallest baseball players when he was actively playing. Because he was like 6'8", 6'9", something like that. So if Randy Johnson was the tallest out there and he got Randy Johnson look like a midget on the mound, that's crazy.
Man, when I say you could barely see the ball, you could barely see the ball when he had it in his hand. I'm about to get the photo and I'm gonna load up real quick. But
I wonder though, how they gonna do him because Wembanyama is really tall but really, really, really thin frame. How do you? I know they do other plays like that, like Ingram when he came to the league, he was tall and thin. But how do you put him on weight gain and stuff, and you already over 7 feet? Like, how much more? He already got weight on him, but it's just a lot because he's so tall. Like, what do you do with it, and not to make him too fragile? I'm just trying to see how it's gonna pan out. That's all.
And it's the same concern I had even like last year with Chet Holmgren. He was very similar to Victor, and in regards to his size, and he got hurt doing a what you call them games they have. Golly, what's some games called? not the
in the summertime, the summer league.
It wasn't the summer league. It was scrimmage they be having different speed and stuff like that. And he got hurt doing that, and he was out for the rest of the year because of his size. But this is the baseball that was held by Victor Wembanyama. Look at that. That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, that picture looked like the scene in Thriller when his hands are about to change.
That is crazy. I mean, it's like, how can you even try to throw a curveball and hold the seams or throw a split finger or a changeup? Like,
you gotta hold it like fingertips.
It looked like one of them balls that you get out of a gumball machine.
That's crazy. But yeah, so
it's kind of like Shaq though holding a water bottle. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life is Shaq holding a water bottle. Or have you seen him do hot ones? Those chicken wings look that big.
Right. But yeah, like I said, my concern about Victor, and he will be participating in the summer league. But my concern is, like you said, Bunny, the strength. You know, he's only like 7'5", soaking wet, 200 pounds. But you're gonna be facing guys that's like 6'11", 7 foot, that's like 250, 300 pounds. And you ask, what can he do? You better get the best strength coach in the game and make sure that your body is ready to handle an 82-game season facing some behemoths that's going to be nonstop, because it won't be the same like it was in France. This is a whole new ball game when you get to I'm about to say St. Louis, when you get to the States and play against some guys who, you know what I'm saying, they boom, you know what I'm saying, they come with it. An 82-game season plus playoffs, if y'all make it, like, you have to really be ready and conditioned. So I hope that he's ready for it, that he'll get the right trainers, cardio, everything to be ready for the NBA. But once again, he will be a part of the summer league, and the draft is tomorrow night. But definitely watch out also for Scoot Henderson. He played in the G League last year. Watch out for Brandon Miller, played with Alabama this past season. Shouts out to Kobe Brown, who played at Mizzou, and also DeMoy Hodge, who played at Mizzou as well. Hopefully they get picked up at some good spots tomorrow night. But this NBA draft could be one of the most interesting drafts we've had in quite some time. So hopefully it's a great night for all those who's going to be a part of it, and look forward to the upcoming NBA season as well. Continuing on with the NBA talk, Michael Jordan. He is officially has already sold the Charlotte Hornets. And when you think about his tenure, T-Bone, what's one of the first couple of things that may come to mind in regards to Jordan's tenure as an owner of the Charlotte Hornets? When you think about it.
I mean, well, he was the one that brought him back to Charlotte, right? Because they were in New Orleans at the time when he got him, right?
No, he did it as an expansion. He ended up. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that.
The
name is what I'm talking about.
Right. Yeah. At first,
it was the game, not the organization.
The Hornets. Yeah, it was the Bobcats, but he changed to the Hornets.
That's what I was trying to clarify. Like, because they were the New Orleans Hornets, and then he switched. He got the name back. And they became the Hornets. I want to make sure I'm right with that, right?
Well, yeah.
Well,
yeah. I mean, I know you say it's complicated, but hey, stop. The Bobcats were the expansion team.
Right.
He bought them when they were still the Bobcats, and he changed it to the Hornets. Yes, the Hornets that's in New Orleans / Pelicans is a separate organization, not the same one from the one that Jordan had.
No, I'm just talking about just specifically the name, because they were the Charlotte Hornets for a while, then they left, and then then they got the Bobcats. But let's be honest, Bobcats never caught
Well, he didn't get the Hornets name until after the New Orleans Hornets changed it to the Pelicans. Then he was able to do that.
I thought that was all in conjunction, though.
You said what?
I thought those were all in conjunction with each other.
Mommy.
But either way, I mean that's one thing you could say about it. I mean, he's been an owner, a former player with a majority interest in the team. So I mean that's something that nobody else has done to this point. And you might as well call him the golden goat because he just raised his wallet a few inches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was just about to say that now that he sold the Hornets, let's look at his career earnings. NBA salary, looking at about $93.8 million.
By the way, that's not adjusted for inflation. That's just what it was.
His Nike earnings, about $2 billion. Yes, 2 with the B, billion. And now with this Hornet sale, it's about $2 billion. So it goes back to the conversation we had last week, Bunny, in regards to how owners who may have done wrong, like racist stuff, but they still win at the end because you're selling your team for billions of dollars. So it's like you ain't lost. And Michael Jordan, as great as he is as a player, just didn't really pan out as an owner because over his 13 full seasons as the owner of the Hornets, let me tell y'all this. How many finals appearances? 0. How many conference finals appearances? 0. How many semi-final appearances? 0. How many first round series wins? 0. His best draft, I would probably say, was of course LaMelo Ball, but before then, Kemba Walker. And once again, the team just has not done anything in regards to making it past the first round. So that's really been his stay. I think probably one of the biggest takeaways from his time as an owner, it was 2 things. One, he got pissed off at his team one day, and he decided to suit up and join the second team and defeat the first team starters in a scrimmage. Then second, there's a clip of him going off on Malik Monk, and he's like slapped him on the back of his head like, boy, what you doing out there? But outside of that, just hadn't really had a great career as an owner. Bunny, you on mute.
My bad. So what I was gonna say, my thought process, of course, I'm not a billionaire, millionaire. I'm not even a thousandaire. How about that? But MJ is the GOAT in my book. Go to basketball.
The golden goat.
The GOAT of making money. Now, when it came to ownership, I don't think he realized how much moving. No, he knows because as a player with the Bulls, he knew Krause and Reisdorf. Hold on. Stop. How they move. So from going from the court to the quote unquote boardroom, or you're going to say as an executive of this organization, maybe he just didn't think it was going to be as complicated because you could control your game on the court, so to speak. You got your coach, but you control how you do your game. When you coming from the court to the box office suites and all that, and you're like, okay, you think players are going to play their way, it's a lot more moving parts. So it's not necessarily all on him, but a lot of it was how the Hornets didn't pan out as well under his leadership because the GM makes a lot of the moves. Of course, GM reports to the owner. So, of course, MJ probably had his hand on what the owner or GM was doing with how they drafted some of the teams. But I still didn't understand some of their moves. I'm like, once you had a good Gordon Kimber, you could build around him. It didn't pan out. Try it again with Ball. It's like I didn't understand why they couldn't be better. And again, we know MJ is competitive. That's in his DNA. So you want to be competitive with the other side of the game, which is from the management ownership style, and then pan out because it's moving parts. And I don't think they drafted well or built teams around them like they could have. I mean, you just named all the stuff they have in the playoffs to show for it. 0. I mean, besides what? Was there any rookie of the year talk when Kimber was rookie, or was there? I think he was close in the talking, but my point is it didn't pan out. Now he panned out money wise, so he still has a minority stake though. He's not like completely off the Hornets. He's just not a majority owner. So we'll see what his next endeavor will be. But I was just surprised all the years. I'm like, why can't they get they together? He could have stole some other executives from other organizations. People do that all the time. They'll bait him and come work for my organization. Come get my team together. I don't see why he didn't do that, but it didn't pan out. But hopefully, the next thing that he touches will, of course, be the GOAT status as well, because that's all he does is be GOAT status, except on the ownership side. So,
I was gonna say, it sounds like when Derek Jeter took over for the Marlins for a little bit, he's not there anymore, but they didn't do anything either. You know, they made the playoffs in the COVID year, beat the Cubs, but other than that, there was
to me,
some
it's
question.
harder, I think, coming from a player going to the other side. Coaching, not so much, but when ownership or GM, because there's a lot of more moving parts and the power you have, you can control your talent on the field. You can only control so much up there because people still have to pan out on the field or on the court, and it's just harder. And Jeter left on his own terms because he saw they weren't going like they should have. Because it's so much more. They're paid to figure this stuff out. You choose to do the ownership or the management style, but realize using you in that on that side, two things. This is a different generation of players than when you were playing. Because everybody that's playing when Jeter was playing at their peak are all retired. So this is a brand new group of people. MJ, same thing. All the people that was under his umbrella as owner or even as a GM side of it, all those players are gone. So the upbringing, a new batch of players, they have some of the stuff that you desire, but they were trained differently. We all know in baseball, to me, is analytics. And it seems like defense is thrown out the window. They don't care that you be defensively great like you need to be coming up from the minor system. Basketball, you can have all these good skills, shooting skills, dribbling skills, but you can't play defense. But we'll look past that. And so that's one thing coming from a player to the ownership side of it. You're not going to get the same skill set of the people that you were playing with because the next generation just doesn't have to do as much as you do. To me, at least as a fan, I don't know. This people, they may be training hard, but their skill set is not all the way hard like it was when Jeter and Jordan was playing.
You know, one thing I can remember about the Bobcats under Jordan was, I think that they had one of the Magic's one last rides with the Dwight Howard days because they lost to the Magic in the first round of the playoffs in the 09-10 season. I went to one of the games. They beat the Bobcats, and I remember thinking to myself that the most amazing part of that game was I was about 7 or 8 rows away from Michael Jordan.
That's what's up.
That was the highlight of his tenure for me.
And now, on the other side for me, after the Bulls won against who was that they played? I think it was after they beat the Supersonics. I had tickets to go back then. It was the St. Louis Arena, the old Checker Dome. Miss Dub, I know you know what I'm talking about.
I remember it.
But I had tickets to go to an exhibition game. It was the Bulls versus I think like the Washington Bullets or something like that. And I'm excited to go to the game, see Jordan in person, the whole nine. But that's when his father was found missing. And, he eventually passed away. He was killed. And then Jordan retired. So, unfortunately, I couldn't see Jordan in person during that time. It was still cool to see Coach and, the other guys and everything. But I was supposed to have seen Jordan that time. And he retired because of what happened with his father. Then he went to play baseball and stuff like that. So that was my only time I seen the Bulls in person. And it was supposed to have been when Jordan was there. But once again, everything that tragically happened with his father and everything. So that's my only memory of being able to be possibly close to Jordan. Now, a second one I will say was that my uncle. My uncle, when he was married to his first wife, his first wife's sister was married to Michael Jordan. So I do have a photo. I do have a photo of Jordan, and he had something. I think I gotta find it. I know it's somewhere. It's an old, like over 30 years old photo that Jordan signed and said, "Hey, Fred," and had some good words on there and everything. Because, like I said, my uncle's first wife, his sister. Her sister, sorry about that. Her sister was married to Michael Jordan at that time, and they had a whole connection going on. I was able to get a photo of Jordan, and he said, "Hi, Fred," and he has some cool little words on there. So I gotta find it. I know it's somewhere, in the
you
house.
just don't know where that's at. Michael Jordan signed that into you, and you just don't know where that's at.
Because I'm like, wait a minute, why do I not have it out? What's wrong with me?
That was a very interesting story until you said that. Like, come on now.
Nice. What's going on, Smoooth? What's happening? But yeah, that's pretty cool though, T-Bone, for you to be, right there close to, to Jordan and everything.
He was on the sideline, that was his team at the time that he was the owner of. He was down there with him, and I was like, forget this game. Can I find a way to, get over to him, get an autograph if I could?
Like a stand.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Like I said, I know I have it. It's probably right, and it shouldn't be, but it's in storage. Probably like saying, "Hey, what's going on? You know who I am? I'm Jordan, right?" Stan says the fact that I have never heard about this photo is absurd.
I know.
That was my next thing.
Stan, you got a point on that one, Stan. Yeah.
Like,
now you want to talk about this. Now you don't have a receipt to back it up. Okay, Fred.
You were just bragging about how this has been going on for 6 years, and we never heard about this.
So during the commercial break, I'll get the
Okay, it was a commercial break. Got it.
Right.
Smoooth, I sent my receipt about Dan. I sent that in the group chat. So
I just saw it too. That picture.
Yeah, I saw it. All right, so let's move on to some baseball talk. David Freese, our beloved St. Louis own David Freese, made some news this past weekend. Before we go there, y'all should remember him from this.
Into right, well hit. Back at the wall. It's off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Berkman. Freese has tied it. 7-7. Unbelievable. Freese hits it in the air to center. We will see you tomorrow night.
Oh man,
memories and goosebumps all over again.
Man, you know, before I continue on, because we got time today. That moment was just so incredible. This was something that I used to do with my granny. Was like when there was like a very tight situation in the clutch, and you hope for something good to happen. I used to always like cross my fingers, like this, like come on, let's go. But I used to have like this, I used to have my ring finger and my pinky finger crossed up. Like I had every way possible.
Your toes.
Toes that I can have. And it was this one position on the couch at my previous house where I didn't move. I stayed at that same spot on the couch. Like, you know what? I see a rally going on. I don't want to jinx it. I'm gonna stay right here and not move. All of a sudden, you saw the Berkman hit. Then you saw David Freese do what he did. Bunny, if you can recall that moment that we saw, where were you at, and what was you doing during that moment when both moments happened for David Freese?
I was actually at my friend's house. Her and her husband, we were there. I don't know why I was over there. But when the top of the ninth came, I'm like, y'all, they ain't gonna pull this out. I was being negative Nancy because I just knew. So I ended up leaving before the bottom of the ninth. I left from their house. And when I got home, I was like, I didn't see it, the triple live. I saw it after the fact. But I stayed around and made sure I tuned in. I saw what he did in the 11th inning. But all I can say is I was living by myself at the time. All that noise I made in my house, screaming, jumping up, it was crazy, crazy. I mean, I made so much noise, probably the neighbors probably heard it, but I was like, I didn't care because diehard baseball fan. I just knew we was out of it. But freeze to the day. That's all I could say. I was so excited. Yes, you would. Let me guess, you were there too?
Joe, how about yourself?
I remember spending that whole playoffs, that whole October at my aunt's house, and we'd all watch the game together, all the games together. And Freeze was smoking hot from the very beginning. That Brewers series, he was hot, and that one I just remember. My uncle was super negative, and he was just mad that Hamilton hit that homer to retake the lead again, and he went to the bedroom to go watch. He's a painter, so he was watching the Paint Channel, and he'd rather watch paint dry than the Cardinals lose the World Series. And that TV was like 3 seconds faster than the TV we were watching in the living room. And so we're just sitting there biting our nails, all nervous and stuff. And here comes my uncle running down, like he's got this big beard, tattoos all over, running down the hallway, screaming like a little girl, "Oh my God, oh my God." And we knew right away something good happened, obviously. And yeah, like shoot, when we won the World Series, we ran down the street screaming. My sister smacked right there on the street, messed her hand up. It was just, I don't know, it was good times. That house always makes me think of that playoff run, World Series, and everything.
Let's see. Stan says I stayed up for Game 6. Was tired, as can be at school the next day, but it was worth it. But Game 7 was a snooze fest. I don't know. I mean, I can understand because you were worn out, from Game 6 and being, energetic and, celebrating that night. But no, Game 7, I was like, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Because, of course, it's Game 7. Like, there's no better words in sports, than Game 7. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Hey, I was in Point Siena, Florida at my dad's house with this new girlfriend that I had at the time. Only been around for a few months at the time, Now she's my wife, but maybe that's why. This is a magical night. It's a magical evening. And I just remember watching the game, and I just remember the whole time, like, she doesn't really watch baseball like that. So, but she was watching the game with me, and I was like, just gotta believe. You just gotta believe they can do it. I'm like, it's gonna happen. They're gonna do something. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something. And then Berkman, and then you had Freeze in that 9th inning, and I was like, I was jumping up and down at the house. I didn't care how it made me look at the time. I was excited. And then I don't remember. See, the funny thing is, I remember the 9th inning. I don't remember anything after that. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Yachty and Freeze? I mean, we saw what Freeze did, but didn't Yachty hit a home run too, or a double or something like that? In like
Yachty got hit by a pitch to bring up that the Memphis. What was it? The Memphis Mafia kids back in the day, which is John Jay and Danny D. And they were rookies and just had little blue pits, and then Kyle Loesch had a sack bunt as a starting pitcher as a pinch hitter in a World Series game, and all kinds of that was to this day probably one of the weirdest games in the World Series that I've ever seen. Is that me?
Obviously, that's my favorite game ever.
Yeah, but what Stanton's saying though with Game 7 is I wouldn't say it was a snooze fest, but as a Cardinals fan going into it, you knew you were going to end the night as World Series champions. After how Game 6 ended, Rangers probably knew going into it they were going to lose. Like that was just how it was, Like you're not gonna win Game 6 the way you want it and not win Game 7. So yeah, I was cool as a cucumber Game 7.
Yeah. So the reason why I brought this up is because back in April, late April, David Freeze and along with others, 2 other people were announced as the winners of the upcoming Cardinals Hall of Fame, but he humbly and politely declined. I think one of the reasons is because one, he felt that he wasn't part of the organization long enough to earn that right. But two, he also felt that the person that he was outside of baseball wasn't the right person that he feels is deserving of the Hall of Fame. Meaning that if you don't know before, he had issues with alcohol, DWIs and stuff like that. And just mentally, he felt like he just really wasn't, he wasn't that person that he is now. He's much happier. He's not going through any stuff in his life, any stress, stuff like that. But he just feels like overall, during that time frame he was with the Cardinals, that internally he doesn't feel that he is deserving because of the status, that the state that he was during that time as a Cardinal, during them years, that he is deserving of the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Now mind you, this
Don't
the
ask
same
me
time
again.
frame.
I already told you.
To
Don't learn.
Matt
When I tell you, eat.
Now it's the same thing in regards to how Matt Holliday, before the season, he already signed up. He agreed to be an assistant coach, a bench coach for the Cardinals, but then he turned that down because of personal reasons. And then now David Freese, he says, you know what, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to decline because of how he was during that time personally in his life as a Cardinal. So when you saw this news, Joe, what was your thoughts in regards to him declining the invitation to be an inductee to the Hall of Fame?
At first, I was just kind of thrown off because one, I didn't even know you could just be like, "Nah, fam, I don't want it," But and then you read his quote and everything. And again, he probably also feels like he's from here. He had one of the best moments in our franchise's history, and he probably thought that he was just going to be going in for that moment. Which again, I mean, the fans voted him in. But yeah, I forgot all about that other stuff he was going through at the time. But I mean, I think it's mess. There's people out there that are mad at him, which I mean, just he still said he's gonna be part of the organization and show his face around, but he just didn't feel right accepting that honor. And I mean, there's a lot of pretty big names that rock the red jacket, So I mean, you can understand where he's coming from. And one thing that crossed my mind though is like just another thing to add to the headlines at the end of the 2023 season is hometown kid David Freese, World Series hero, declines Hall of Fame. So I don't know. But I'm not mad at him. Like again, there's people that are mad at him. Like I'm more upset with Holiday than I am with David Freese, not wanting to wear a red jacket. So
Bunny, your thoughts?
Real quickly, Matt Holiday rejected wearing a red jacket.
No, he rejected being a bench coach.
Hey, we'll say that for another day or on Cardinal segment, because listen to somebody on 101 gave an insight on why he rejected that when he probably saw the beginning of this season how it was going to head, which you see how the Cardinals are doing. He saw that, and it's probably why he decided at the last minute to pull that back. Here nor there. So with Freeze, I do. I mean, again,
he's got a kid and the number one draft pick, which he knew that was going to happen regardless.
Right.
Like that was already a thing before he said yes, but that, and he's just a big family dude. Like whatever, I respect
but he
that.
knew what the job entails. So that's what I'm saying. He saw
that's
the
what I'm
writing on the
saying.
wall with the organization. I'm telling y'all, and that's why he said, you know what? Let me step back this because they ain't trying to get better. Huh?
He prematurely said yes. I'll take the job. That's all that is.
And then he saw
Okay, well, let me answer your initial question though. It's your prerogative. You don't have to. If this was the Hall of Fame, that'd be different. The Cardinals Hall of Fame, yeah. Because to this day, have you heard of anybody who got called from Cooper? Ma'am. Have you heard anybody that got a call from Cooperstown that said they're going to decline it? Any of y'all know anybody in baseball has gotten that call and said no? So I think
but I can see it happening in the future, honestly, because
I think if it was Cooperstown, he wasn't gonna say no, even with all the baggage like you just said he had. But because this is the Cardinals, he's like, yeah, I got room to do this.
Not Cooperstown, but T.O. definitely has some choice words for the NFL.
But he still accepted it though, and he's still in there, even though he didn't do it the traditional way. My point is, if he had the numbers with the same baggage he has off the field, and Cooperstown called, he wasn't gonna say no. I guarantee you that. But it's Cardinals. You can say he got this the reason he did. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying I think it's the level of what he's looking at, what he has, what he can get out of it. And again, nothing wrong with it, but people can be mad all they want. Y'all not in his shoes, and y'all don't understand. You don't understand. They don't. He's not a Cardinal anymore. He will be part of the organization in the future, probably. But he doesn't all the fans know that that's his reason. That's his reason. It's not a contractual obligation. It's not a moral obligation. So sometimes people have nothing else to complain about. They just want to get on the bandwagon and say something. So,
T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not. I was never mad. Like, you know, people can make whatever personal choices they want. I wasn't mad, but I was more confused. More confused because he didn't want the induction, but he's still going to be part of like team activities. So it's like, if you're still going to be around, like it's not like you know, again, I'm not him. So again, whatever he decided to do, his personal choices and decisions, they're personal to him, right? But you know, like I could understand if he was like, you know, my time in St. Louis was this and that. I've tried not to step into this situation because it brings me back. So I don't want to come back to St. Louis because of that. Like that would make sense, right? But you know, he's still part of Cardinals activities. It's like you're already here. Hold this jacket, take a picture. But if you don't want to, I understand.
So Stan brought up a great question that I want to say to now. If and when his time comes, Albert Pujols declines, he doesn't expect it. Would it hurt the same or worse, or could you understand the decision?
That would be worse.
Yeah, worse for sure.
Because he already came back to the team. Like, you know, he had the farewell. Everything went fine. Like, you know, David Freese, once he was gone, you know, he went to different teams and stuff like that. And, you know, he was traded. Pujols left and then came back.
That's like even if, you know, how you get the decision to choose what cap you want to wear. If he doesn't choose the St. Louis Cardinal cap, something's wrong. I'm sorry. I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed if he chose an MLB cap. It better be a St. Louis Cardinal cap on the bill. It has to be, because that's when he had his best years. Like that's how he got known. Like there's no doubt it has to be a Cardinals cap.
Drafted, all the milestones, the reigns, you know, everything. He came back. Yeah. I'd be a little bit upset that that's saying it calmly if he didn't wear the birds on the bat in his plaque.
Give me that Dodgers hat.
Oh hell, I even forgot he played for the Dodgers, so he just said that. Oh man, that'd be some
that was a stint that you blinked your eyes, he was off the team that fast. So
it was still weird.
He lost in the Titans.
Him wearing blue, man, that was weird to see.
Number 55. Like what?
Yeah, that was even more weird, honestly.
That's the Bizarro Pujols.
Yeah.
And Miss Dub says maybe David Freese feels that a Hall of Fame member should be a role model, and he doesn't think that he was one at that time.
Or maybe he doesn't want to come here on opening day and during possible playoff games for all the pregame stuff. That's all the Hall of Famers do, is just pop up for the big days.
Or do you think that maybe one of his thoughts may be like, hey, if I'm going into this, there's going to be press that I do for this leading up to that day, and questions are going to come up about the past that he just doesn't really want to answer?
I don't think anyone's going to ask. Like right now, if Danny Mac came back, no one's going to ask him about that on air during a live. I really don't think they're going to.
Are you talking about Pujols or Freese?
Oh yeah, which one are you talking about?
Freeze. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes. Like, maybe he thinks like that would be part of some of the press questions that would come up. No, you know, just as part of just a question that they may ask. Like, you know, you had this, and that. I mean, what are your, you know, you've grown and changed. Like, you know, people bring up stuff all the time that, you know, isn't ideal to talk about, but comes up.
I got you. Stan says he's gonna wear an MLB logo hat. No, I disagree. And yeah, 55 was a strange time in his career. That part I agree. But the first part, no, he's gonna wear a.
Where's Stan at?
Uh-oh.
He's watching right now. Stan, you got the link. You can go ahead and hop on if you got time.
Chiming in, but I haven't seen his face in how long? Oh my Lord.
Stan, she calling you out.
I was to say, Charlie Outstanding, come on, make that guest appearance.
Coming in with that MLB
velvet
logo.
do-rag. Where's that crushed velvet do-rag? I should say.
You're being called out right now, Stan. So it's on you to go ahead and see that link in our group chat, and you can go ahead and hop on real quick. But let's continue on with some more baseball talk in regards to the Cardinals. Let's start out with some cool stuff I want to go ahead and announce. But next year, the Cardinals, along with the San Francisco Giants, will be playing at Rickwood Field.
Slow down. Slow down.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, when you're talking about this, slow down. Don't be like, oh boy.
Ooh.
Negro and English League. Come on. Yeah.
Slow down.
Joe, you know what he's talking about?
I do not.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll fill you in. Go ahead.
I should have kept that clip. But yes, the Cardinals will be hosting the San Francisco Giants next year, June 20th, the former home of the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro Leagues, Rickwood Field. This is their version of Field of Dreams. They had the Field of Dreams over the last couple of years. They didn't have it this season. I don't know why. The Cardinals were initially supposed to be the first team, along with the White Sox, to open up the Field of Dreams 3 years ago or so, Joe. But COVID happened, and then of course it was the Yankees instead, I believe. But right. But yeah, once again, next year it should be a great spotlight for both teams. But right now, talk about the Cardinals. But to be on that field, they're going to honor the late great Willie Mays from his time with the Giants, and once again, home of Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro Leagues. Should be a great spotlight for baseball and for the Cardinals. Look forward to that matchup. Joe, when you saw this pull up recently, what were your thoughts about this upcoming matchup next season?
I was excited. I was telling Brendan there's a lot of history with the Negro Leagues, with the Giants and with the Cardinals, so it's gonna be fun, exciting, and anytime you can go out and watch a baseball game other than your home stadium, that's cool. I was hoping it was gonna be the Field of Dreams itself, actually, just because we had it for 2 years and then just gone. I think it's because they're building more seats or something. I don't know. I don't remember what the excuse was for that, but this is cool. And baseball always does a really good job with the Negro Leagues jerseys. The Mariners just had one. Cardinals always have really good ones, and the Royals. I almost said the Chiefs, the Royals. So I'm excited to see the get-ups that they got.
Bunny, your thoughts?
Awesome. I'm glad that they're giving a shout out and still, expressing the desire to keep the Negro Leagues and MLBs, in their rotation. So yes, we know they do Jackie Robinson Day every year. We know that they actually just started including the Negro League stats and some of the former players there, including MLB stats. So now that you're paying homage to one of the fields where a Negro League team played, that is great. It's awesome. It also helps expand the game and go back to some of their roots as far as with the Negro Leagues players that came from Negro Leagues were into the MLB. But you also want to expose the younger people, especially in areas where baseball may not be as a bit bright spot. In the South, Southeast specifically, number one sport is football. Football is God, basically. So baseball sometimes an afterthought. So it helps bring that footprint down there, bringing some major league teams, especially I'm glad they honored the Cardinals We have a long history and road organization. So thank God they mentioning us and put us in that conversation of always put them on big spotlights. So shout out to MLB. They still got a lot of work to do. You know that because Joe Bo's favorite commissioner, Manfred, is still lagging on other spots. But yeah. No, don't shake your head. Do you have an agreement? That's your favorite commissioner. Come
No,
on.
stop. You got the name wrong. It's Manfred. Come on.
T-Bone, your thoughts?
I think it's good. And, Cardinals always had that long reach. I guess with KMOX, I guess long reach because people would tell me down in Florida that they lived in areas in Tennessee or Georgia or whatever, and they were getting KMOX there too. So, but I like to see the continued, represent the legacies and restoration projects. I mean, it's gotta have those legacies continue to grow. Although I don't know if the state of Florida will allow that to be televised, but hey,
Got you. Yeah, so once again, I'm excited that the Cardinals get to have the spotlight next season. Should be a great matchup, and look forward to it. Other baseball news: the MLB All-Star ballot vote leaders are on your screen right now. Got the AL. Joe, if you can go over the AL part, I'll do the NL.
All right, and the AL, I'll start with the catcher. We got Adley Rutschman of the Orioles, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing first base for the Blue Jays. Marcus Semien, him and Corey Seager, man, they've been great in Texas. He's going to be second base. Bo Bichette, he's batting well over 300 with the Blue Jays. Matt Chapman with the Blue Jays. And then you got Randy A out in left field. The best in the game, Mike Trout. Aaron Judge, he probably won't play because he's still on the IL right now, but he's out there right now, right? And then you got Shohei as the DH. What you want me to do? I know you.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So for the NL, we have catcher, someone who could have been part of the Cardinals, but they went and chose Contreras instead as Sean Murphy. DH, you have JD Martinez. Third base, St. Louis's own Nolan Arenado. Shortstop for the Braves, Orlando Arcia. Second base, dude thinks he's Tony Gwynn, and that's Luis Arias. He's holding things down for the Marlins. First base, Freddie Freeman. Right field, Mookie Betts. Center field, probably the best player overall in the NL. And right behind Shohei, in regards to how the season has been, that's Ronald Acuna Jr. Left field, you have the rookie Corbin Carroll holding things down. So that's right now the look of the MLB All-Star vote leaders. And Joe Bo, you asked, and he is here. Standing.
Oh,
hello.
We got the blue
Did
one.
someone call for the crushed rag?
The
Did
blue
call for the
do-rag.
I'm sorry, Bunny. I think the red one is downstairs.
Okay.
So,
Gotta take what I can
it
get.
needs
I
to
got
be
it.
washed.
Okay.
Represent
Hello.
Who holds blue right there?
Oh,
Ah,
I'm about
no.
to get off.
No.
This. I'm about to hop
No.
off.
No.
Don't leave us, Joe. Don't leave.
No. Not at all. Not at all. No, we will never acknowledge that time. Luckily, my Cardinal jersey was nearby in case of this emergency. Hello, Miss Dove. Yes, it is I. It is good to see you too. Shameless plug. I am here a week early. You can catch me next week on the Man Cave. Same time, same place, different panel. Okay. Yeah. Hey, what's going on?
What up, Stanton? It's good
hello.
to see your face.
Joe, is it?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
I swear we do this every time. Hello, Bunny. Always a pleasure to see you. Joe, it's always a pleasure to see you. T-Bone, what's going on? Smooth, I never see you on this side of the camera anymore.
Dude, this is the first time we've been on the same show, and probably like years.
Wow.
No, you know, I take it back. I think it was the in-person super show.
Yeah, yep. That was the last time.
Wow.
I'm here.
That's crazy. So
Live
yeah, man.
in living color. Okay, let's go.
So right now, go ahead and expunge your thoughts in regards to you know, Pujols and having the MLB logo hat on and not the birds on the back.
So you know, Pujols is such a peaceful person, right? And he respects every organization that he plays for. More importantly, the fans that he plays for as well. Yes, Cardinal Nation will be the most salty about it, but it's all right. We understand the kind of man that Albert is. If he happens to have his bust made with the MLB cap, I wouldn't be upset. I'd Photoshop a Cardinal hat on it, but I wouldn't be upset. I would respect his decision.
Stan, I'm gonna say I honestly think anyone associated with MLB would be upset if he did the MLB logo and not the Cardinals logo.
Even the fans of the Angels and that other team he played for 35 to 45 seconds.
I think Angels fans understand just how good he was with the Cardinals. They've seen the type of respect Cardinal Nation had for him when they came here in 2019. Yeah, I think Angels fans would be okay if he went ahead and, you know, picked the word the birds on the bat.
Just understand he's a man for the people and of the people. His favorite people being us. But
Exactly.
you know, peace over pizzazz.
So Stan, because I have you here, and I know that you have a love for this guy, I'm about to bring up. But if KD so happens to win a championship for the Suns because he has not been with Steph Curry and them in Golden State, and he's that guy, would that change your opinion in regards to him?
If he wins a championship with the Suns, I will only be happy because Bradley Beal got a ring. That's it. I wish, because with this, I mean, I understand he wouldn't have been a part of it since he was a part of the trade. I wish that Chris Paul will be put in an opportunity to get a ring after this trade. You know, I heard that there were talks of him finally going to LA, but for a different team. LA being the Lakers. But I don't think that's a good move right now. I feel like that time is past, and this is an entirely different Laker team than what he would have been on. Was it a mistake for the Cards to let Albert go when they did? Yes, but as we know, Cardinals don't like to pay that money.
That was a lot of money. Let's be honest. I mean, come on now.
They had it.
I
They
think it
had
was.
it. They had it. They had it.
I think it was smart to let him go when they did because he honestly wasn't that good after he left.
His career did a nice
right. That was a lot of money.
So.
I feel like that
you don't
wouldn't
miss
have
those years when he was in LA.
It honestly happened perfectly how it did. You know, his career here, 2 rings, however many MVPs he won, Gold Gloves, one away.
Nothing with the Angels, got 0.
How many championships were the Angels in? NL or AL championship games?
None, and I think they only were in 3 playoff games when he
and
was
how
there.
Many,
so.
How many did?
No, one playoff game. I mean, no. You're right.
Yeah, it was a 5-game series. So.
And how many playoff appearances, or not even playoff appearances, but NL championship games did the Cardinals make it to after he was gone?
We made it to
quite a few.
Yeah. We wasn't it against the Cubs that one year? Yes.
We faced the Nationals the next year.
No, we didn't.
2012, we made it to the CS and lost in 6, I believe. 2013, made it to the World Series.
Right.
2014, again against the Giants and played 5 or 6. And then
the Nationals.
2015 Nats, 2016, 17, 18, nothing. And then 19, NLCS. Didn't win anything in the NLCS, but y'all know
But the point is
we played a lot more playoff baseball.
It's not like, they weren't contenders without him.
I'll also say that I believe that Albert would have been just fine in the Cardinal red. And my key exhibit is his last year, him getting to the 700 club. You see how he came back and had a resurgence in that Cardinal red? You see that? He shouldn't have never left.
But 10 years away, and there was no DH here in the NL. That's the only reason why we signed him, because we had the DH. He was a DH.
Damn it, Joe, he's better in Cardinal red. I said what I said.
I know that. I'm just saying, like, he would not have been good if he was here for 10 more years on top of the first 10 years he spent with us.
Now,
in
real
the words
quick,
of the man everyone loves to hate, I guess we'll never know.
Now, real quick, before we continue on, someone wants to say hi to everyone real quick.
Oh, snap.
Hi, baby girl.
Oh, what's
How are you?
Hi.
Oh, gee, here you go. Now we got competition.
All right.
Sorry, mine just went to bed, so I can't show her off.
There you
Hey,
go.
beautiful.
So,
how are you? Oh, you said hi. Oh my God. Okay, y'all done. Anyway, you already said hi.
There you go. Show Sasha again real quick, Bunny.
Sasha, say hello. Look.
Hello.
Says hello.
What's up, Sasha?
There we go. And that's the kids version of the Platform Sports Talk Show.
Whoa. Sasha got them bluey PJs on, don't she?
She sure does.
Mia's got those ones too. She's rocking the blippy tonight, but she's got those.
I'm telling you, that's what's on TV right now. No sports because we don't want to watch the Cardinals lose. So.
Oh man.
Speaking of the Cardinals, speaking of them today, they did lose. Now, however, they did win the series. They did win the series, but to me personally, I feel it's a bummer because today they lost against the Nationals 3-0. And now they gotta hold that L for like 3 days because now they got 2 off days going to London to play the Cubs. So I really wish they would have won today's game to have that winning spirit going to the airplane, the airport, flying 8-10 hours, going to London and going in on a winning streak. But unfortunately, they lost today once again, 3-0. But
they should have lost yesterday. And then we would have won today. Joe, come on now. We win and then we don't do a damn thing. Smoooth, were you surprised?
It's when we score 9 runs, 10 runs, and then the next day we usually lay a goose egg. That's usually what happens.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some.
And
we lost more than some.
Yeah.
They win a little and lose a lot. Ain't no sum, it's a lot.
Look, the best thing out of this is that the Pirates are also losing now. Okay. We're getting back to normal. We'll be back in third place before you know it. I see it coming. We were in bizarro land for the first half of the season. I can't explain it, but we'll be back. Third place, third in the wild card. We'll be back.
I remember there was a time when the Cardinals were in third place, and y'all were like, "This is the worst ever."
Okay, well, we were wrong.
He's gotta go. McMatheny's gotta go. Now look at us. Now look what y'all done.
I still don't want Mike Matheny. Like, I wouldn't change that.
Championship game, World Series. Championship game again. Now look at us. We can't even find second place. It's too far up.
And then, like I told Joe in the chat, believe it or not, the Cardinals now, these last 5 games, it's been different. But before then, the Cardinals are probably like the least entertaining team in the NL Central.
In all of baseball.
Ooh.
I would definitely say it's more than just the NL Central. I mean, the A's even went on and won like 8 or 9 games at one point in a row. The Nationals can be fun at times. They got Keeper Ruiz, CJ Abrams. They got a good young rotation. But yeah, I mean, I can't think of 5 other teams that are more exciting. I mean, less exciting than us, honestly. I probably can't even think of 2. Maybe the Royals.
Well, I've been saving this, but I got some breaking news.
Yes.
The Cardinals' luck will change July 14th here in St. Louis when it's YMCA Day here at Busch Stadium. That means that all your little league teams out there from the YMCA across St. Louis will be marching on the field, around the field, July 14th. That's a Friday night. And, all those young T-ball players, they'll be out there, and they are going to bring the good luck to the St. Louis Cardinals for the season. So join us July 14th, YMCA Day at Busch Stadium, and see all those future AA, AAA, single A, and major league players out there on the field. You never know who you're going to see.
You know,
Tell me I gotta
T-Bone.
wait 3 more weeks for that.
Hey, look.
Y'all know where I'm going with this. You know, T-Bone, this takes me back to the days, because it wasn't only basketball. I also played baseball in my Jewish league. And we also participated in the march around the field. And from experience, that doesn't make it any better. They lost the games when we did that.
Man.
And all of a sudden, Stan left.
Just
Hold
like
on.
that.
All right, see you in a couple months.
Oh, he's back. All right.
There you go. Hold on, we can't hear you, Stan.
Hello. Are we here yet?
Go.
We can hear
Okay.
you now. You can't see your throat. There you
Yeah.
go.
Hello. Okay. So, yes, during my time in the superb Jewish league, I played catcher. Fun story about that. I'll tell that on another episode. I think I don't know. It didn't work for us. New generation of kids. They've got more talent, more training regimens and stuff. It might just be the oomph that is needed for the Cardinals. Maybe they'll leave a little talent on the field. Maybe we'll win a game.
I can tell you in 2002, as the Scholar Athlete of the Year representing Normandy Senior High School, I did my march around the field, and we won that game against the Cubs. So there you go.
In high school. In high school. This is Little League.
Look, you better get them. You better get anything you can get. A squirrel.
I was just about to say, we need the squirrel.
Where's
We
that
need
jar
the
of
squirrel.
sauce? Where's that jar of sauce from a few years ago?
Oh, he took that to New York and to wherever he is now.
Well, bring it back. Market it here. Put an Emo's label on it and call it St. Louis.
They actually sold it in Schnucks, and a coworker of mine at the time brought it into the office, and that was some of the best sauce I've ever had in my life.
Fire.
Good stuff.
Man. Well, with that being said, Stan, I know you got a dip. Thanks.
Yes,
for,
I got to get to the store before they close. I was watching, and then I got called out. I was like, okay.
You're welcome.
What we like for people to do, get called out. Come on here. Let's go. We're going to do it again
All right.
next time.
I love y'all. I shall see you all soon, and you all will see me next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central for another edition of the Man Cave. This is Stanton, and I am out of here.
There he is.
What a pro. What a pro.
Platform Sports Talk Show. Let us see. Miss Dub says, according to Google, the Cards' longest winning streak this season is 4 games. Is that true? Yes, it is. And Miss
just
Dub
snapped.
says, represent T-Bone. Represent. There it is.
We got to support all our young players out there. You never know. We might have some future baseball players coming from the local YMCA this year.
Joe, what have you seen over these last couple of games? Pretty much the road trip that has hopefully turned corner for the Cardinals.
Better defense. That's the main thing. Everything's been bad with the Cardinals this year, but seeing how bad their defense is has been alarming. I think going into this 4-game win streak, and we're probably still down there, is we were down with the Royals and the A's with the most errors. Last year we had the best, what top 5 best. Only first base had a positive defensive run saved. Everyone else had a negative. So just good defense. That's, pitchers are going deeper. Montgomery went deep. Flaherty somehow went deep in that game the other day after giving up 5 in the first 2 innings. But And Jordan Hicks, he's been taking up Helsley's spot there, and he's been holding it down. So, but I think the main thing's been the defense.
Yes or no, Bunny, will the Cardinals find a way to make the playoffs?
This season, negative. Now, I was on the Blues bandwagon. I said they can make the playoffs back in December. Joe was like, "No, Bunny, they're not. Just no." And I'm like, "No, I try to be faithful and be positive." And she busted my bubble, but she was right. So for me not to have deja vu, I'm gonna already say the Cardinals are making the playoffs. I've accepted that. I don't know if they're gonna do with the draft pick or not, but they better get that together in the offseason. So it is what it is. I'm so tired of them losing that I don't watch them as often. I just watch the highlights of them looking like trash out there with their defense. But they're not making the playoffs.
T-Bone, yes or no? Cardinals making the playoffs.
I've always been the positive Pete to tell you how good I thought that they were going to wind up doing, and I'm not seeing it.
Jobo.
Nope. Yeah, I blame myself and I blame you, Fred, for the segment name and for me picking them to go to the World Series. I was positive about them for once in my life. And I know we just won 4 in a row. We just won 2 series in a row on the road. But it's still like, even with a little bit better defense and pitchers going a little bit deeper, I'm just waiting for these 2 off days, and we're going to go against Marcus Stroman, who's got the best ERA in the NL, and Justin Steele, who's right behind him. And who knows what the hell's going to happen. It could be ugly. Who knows? But we're 9 games out. Come on now.
And I'm going to say because of the lack of proactive moves by the Cardinals organization, I'm going to say no, because they put themselves so behind the hole. And like we were talking about before, the Reds are playing better. The Brewers might have a run in them. It's just so bad right now for the team. They may have a good little stretch, but maybe the Reds will too. So I'm going to go ahead and say no in regards to the playoffs this season. That's very unfortunate. But with that being said, our last segment of the evening, we have a very new segment, and it is called Oops, My Bad. So you're going to name a team or a player that you had your thoughts about, that you felt he or she or this team is going to do this, and they actually done the opposite and has done pretty well, and that made you say, oh, my bad. So, Bunny, who's a team or player that had you saying this?
Whoopsie.
And I can't hear you.
You're muted.
You on mute.
Whoopsie. So, I said, you already mentioned the team because at the beginning of the season when we were making our MLB predictions, I'm like, oh, the Cardinals going to win a Central. Of course, the Reds, Pirates going to be sucky as always. And lo and behold, who's at the top of the division? The Reds. So, there you go. My bad. Thought y'all were going to suck like every year, but apparently y'all aren't. Y'all are staying up there. So, All-Star break, if they're still at the top, then they should have the division and be ready for the playoffs. So, we shall see.
All right. And Joe Bo, what has you saying?
Whoopsie.
I'm gonna go with a person. I said this about 3 years ago, and honestly, I was wrong. But that's Shohei. When he first came up, he was all right. He was being compared to Babe Ruth himself. The first game he stepped on the field. Second and third year, he wasn't that good. Had injuries, and then last year and this year, obviously, like right now, he's the reason why the Angels are playing so good. He's got like 24, 25 homers. He's been giving up some runs more here lately, but he's good. He's good, and the dude's going to get paid like $600 million this offseason by probably the Dodgers, which it's insane to even think that that's even an amount of money that's out there. But he's going to get paid $300 for a batter, $300 for a pitcher, and he's set. He's good to go.
T-Bone, what has you saying?
Whoopsie.
Well, I'm one to admit when I may have given an opinion that was wrong. And I remember a few years ago, around the off season of baseball, when we were talking about free agents, and the usual talk, Cardinals aren't spending money, all that stuff. And I was like, look, they'll do what they can, and they'll figure stuff out. And there was a player that y'all were mentioning, and y'all were like, we should sign him. And I was like, is he really worth the money? How much of a difference could he make? That was Bryce Harper. And, not that I didn't think he was talented, but, a lot of times, take it Aaron Rodgers as an example. Lots of talent, but not much to show for that talent as far as, for the team, his personal accolades or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you could spend all this money on Bryce Harper, but, will that get you wins? Well, we see how that turned out. So there you go. Bryce Harper.
All right. And I have two myself.
If you don't say one of the ones I got in my head that you should be saying, I'm going to call you out on it.
All right. Well, one, I'm going to say this is a Cardinal player who I was on his head because of the struggles that he was showing earlier this season and last year. And I was like, man, they should probably go ahead and see about maybe making a trade for him because he just wasn't doing his job. But over the last couple of games now, he has solidified himself as the closer of the Cardinals, and that's Jordan Hicks. This guy here, something happened, and he got put back in a situation where now he's the actual closer, and he's giving them hell, and he's been doing his thing. And I was wrong about him. I was like, you know what? Put him out there in the trade market or whatever it is. Just release him, whatever, because he just damaged goods. He just can't get himself back together. But he's proven me wrong, and he really wants that spotlight. And when it gets out there, like he's shown his last 3 appearances, which was like, I believe 3 games in a row, which was 3 days in a row, he's been pretty much lights out. And it's always good to see a feel-good story and seeing someone hold things down and overcome adversity and do good things. So I got to give props to Jordan Hicks for the Cardinals. Second person is in the NBA, and that's the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, the world champion Denver Nuggets, Mike Malone, excuse me. I felt that when the Nuggets got to the playoffs, they may win maybe 1 series, maybe 2. But when it got time to go into the finals, beating, what could be a better team, a better organization, the whole 9, in the past, they have shown that with him as the head coach, that they can get there, but they could not get over the hump. And I sure thought that against the Lakers, that the Nuggets were going to wilt under pressure, maybe have a good start, but then a bad finish. And he has proven me wrong. And I definitely got to say, whoopsie, in regards to that. Joe, who did you have in mind that I may be like,
So I remember when we did our MLB predictions, you asked me who's a team to look out for. I told you the D-backs, and you were like, okay. D-backs in first place. I know it's only about 3 games, but they've been playing good. Corbin Carroll is a stud. He's the fastest guy. Ellie De La Cruz says he's the fastest guy on the planet. Now I'm gonna have to say Corbin Carroll is that. He's fast, and he's probably gonna be 2020 before the All-Star break. So yeah, he's pretty good. They got some good young talent, and right now the Dodgers are sitting pretty in 3rd place while the D-backs are in 1st. So yeah.
So do you feel that they can hope that the Diamondbacks can keep this lead, or will reality set like it did for Pittsburgh? And you got San Diego Padres eventually figuring out. Then you got the Dodgers overcoming the D-backs. So can he hold on to that lead in the NL West?
I think they can hold on to it. They got, Gitzel Marte, Lourdes Gurriel, Corbin Carroll, Christian Walker. I mean, they got, what's his name? Zach Gallen, who's probably might win the Cy Young this year. They got more talent than the Pittsburgh Pirates do. I'll say that. And I can see them going out there and making some moves there at the deadline, get another pitcher, but they've been doing good all year. They haven't really gone on any losing streak. Just took 2 from the Brewers and Milwaukee, and they've whooped up on the Dodgers here and there. So I think they're the real deal. They're the Orioles from last year, but I think they'll actually make the playoffs.
Yeah. And how good is it for baseball to see teams like the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, the Orioles, the Reds, playing good baseball? How good is that for baseball overall?
Good. More fan bases around the league that actually get to experience hopefully some playoff baseball. It's weird because this year itself has been weird. I was not expecting the Marlins to be 10 games over 500. I was expecting the D-backs to be good. This good? I don't know. But there's just the Rangers are good. There's just good teams in baseball that haven't been good in a very, very long time. So it's good to get new faces out there. Now, we talked about this last week, when it comes to the playoffs, are people going to be mad that the Rangers are in the playoffs over the New York Yankees, possibly, or the D-backs over the Dodgers? Because right now, Dodgers and Yankees, I don't think they are in the playoffs. So that could, I guess, hurt, but I think it's good for all these, these teams got really good young talent on their team. So it's good for the world to see it.
Yep, I agree. And before we go ahead and end this wonderful show this evening, got to give a shout out to former representatives of the Blues. Either they played with the Blues or was the head coach. One is Pierre Turgeon. Joe, I know you probably recall Pierre Turgeon, number 77. When he came to the Blues, for me, I was like, not saying he's going to be like the next Wayne Gretzky or anything, but he came in with a lot of flash from Montreal, and I thought he was a very, very solid player for the Blues during his time. And it was just announced today that he, along with former head coach for the Blues a couple years ago, Ken Hitchcock, they will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So your thoughts on both of these former Blues representatives, one player, one head coach?
I think it's deserving. Pierre Turgeon, he was he was on the team when I was not super young, but not into hockey as much as I am now. But that's my mom's guy right there. She loved Pierre Turgeon. Ken Hitchcock, he had some good moments here in St. Louis. Some people didn't like how he coached, but I mean, you see it right there. He's a Stanley Cup champion, and he's been around the league for a very long time. So it's very deserving for both of these guys.
And lastly, next year's NBA All-Star Game is going to be in Indianapolis. So NBA Saturday night is going to be at the Lucas Oil Stadium, home of the Indianapolis Colts. And as you see on your screen, it's going to be split down the middle. The right side, which is called the south side of the stadium, is going to have the NBA All-Star festivities in the dome, be about 35,000 people. And then on the left-hand side is where they have the concerts and everything going on as well. I think this is a great idea that they should have in the future for cities that have an NBA stadium, arena, and a football stadium. So once again, Saturday night will be at the Dome, as you see on your screen, but then Sunday's game will be at the actual NBA arena, home of the Pacers. But I think this is a really cool idea that maybe other teams, other cities in the future may grab that idea and be like, this would be a good showcase to have All-Star Saturday night, to be in one place while having the All-Star game in the other, or maybe have it the opposite side, in which the All-Star game may be in the Dome but then have the All-Star Saturday night, at a normal NBA arena. But I think this is pretty much a cool idea that Indy is doing. Bunny, when you see this, do you have any thoughts in regards to how Indianapolis is doing next year's All-Star festivities?
No, I'm just thinking, how much would it cost us? Because that's a quick road trip from St. Louis to Indy. And how much are they busting heads for these hotel prices? Because I would love to do a trip. Because I've never been to any All-Star festivities, for any of the cities they've had recently. So worth inquiring about. But the layout that you have picture looks pretty cool. It takes a lot of manpower to do that half and half, but not bad idea. I just don't get the nosebleed. Like, I mean, I guess it's to make money, but it's like as a fan, I'd rather be at home up close watching on TV than in the nosebleed, paying thousands of dollars. But to each his own, right?
I don't think you're gonna pay thousands of dollars if you're in the nosebleeds.
Shoot, I don't know. Let's go up since you're the whiz of looking stuff up at the quick second here. Let's look at these prices. Let's see, All-Star. Yay. Anyway, so yeah, that's my thoughts. Shout out to people who want to sit in the nosebleeds, but I'd rather have it close or be at home. But the split of the dome there, not a bad idea at all.
Miss Dub says 1 year she checked and there were no tickets available for public purchase.
I can tell you
also,
for Salt Lake City, it looked like it started at $21.
$21 for what?
With tickets for the I'm going quickly here, but let's see. I'm trying to see how much these tickets are. Y'all go ahead. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll go ahead too, because I'm trying to figure it out. Because you just can't get one click and get the answer. It's like up, click this, click that.
Oh, right. Okay, here we go.
And also, Miss Dub brought up something as well. Talk about the WNBA. So, shouts out to the Las Vegas Aces, the current defending champions of the WNBA. They started out the season 11-1. They have an incredible roster. Candace Parker on that team. And of course, you have Asia Wilson. Just an incredible team coached by what is her name? Tip of the tongue, Miss Williams. You know her name. I can't think of her name right now, but Becky Hammond. She's the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces, and they are definitely showing why they are, the defending world champions. So shouts out to the ladies holding things down the WNBA. It's been I've seen a few games. It's been a nice season to start off with. The All-Star game is coming up. Brittany Griner, has been back with the Phoenix Mercury. So, all is well in the WNBA. T-Bone, did you find out any more details in regards to last year or any prices?
Well, I see right now it says 10,500 tickets will go on sale to the public for $24, $49, $79 on July 24th. Fans in Indiana will have the first opportunities to buy or basically profit off of these tickets. But I can't tell if that's for Saturday night or if that's for the actual All-Star game itself.
See, when I look it up, it's like they don't have the pricing yet. They like trying to package it all together. You have to.
I'm on NBA.com, but
I'm on I'm on NBAexperiences.com. NBA All-Star 2024.
Well, it says purposely built for fans. Lucas Oil Stadium makes the premier event more accessible than ever to the community, and the first group of 10,500 tickets will go on sale in Indiana first on July 24th. So I think that's for the All-Star game itself.
No, that's for All-Star Saturday night because it's going to be at Lucas Oil Stadium. The All-Star game is going to be at the Field House on Sunday.
Okay. So then
All-Star Saturday night is different from the All-Star game. So
okay, yeah, that's All-Star Saturday night then.
Yeah, but with that being said, this has been an incredible show. Thank you so much to Bunny, to Joe, T-Bone, showing love, and also to Stan to stop through and chop it up with us real quick. We had a wonderful time. Look, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Once again, make sure y'all go ahead and give us a follow on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Subscribe. Click on that what, Bunny?
On that bell, baby. I'm sorry, the bell's in the other room. Cling, 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 cling,
It's all good. Make sure y'all show us some love. Give us an email on platform sports talk show at gmail.com. Also, we on the Instagram at platform sports talk. Once the show is over, it'll be uploaded right away on all Roku devices. Check us out also as well on Hot 365 Radio. So if you can't see us, you can definitely hear us crystal clear, sounding very good, sounding real sexy on those sports airwaves. And of course, next week we have the Man Cave. And of course, on every first Wednesday of the month, we have Ladies Night. It's been a pleasure to hold things down. Hope y'all enjoyed everything. And stay tuned for the Man Cave next week. It is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Y'all have a wonderful night. To the panelists, thank y'all very much. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. With that being said, we out this thing. Peace out.